morning. God bless you. Pastor W. Lonnie Herndon here. It's time for your morning meditational word. Listen to one of the ministers of the gospel share with you a word for this day.
Good morning. Welcome to Compassion's morning meditation. I am Elder Kenneth Blair. Our meditation this morning is coming from Proverbs 11:18. Even evil people get rich for the moment, but the reward of the godly will last. Our thought this morning is coming from the B portion of the text that says, but the reward of the godly will last. I want to speak about God's reward. There was a man that was rich, and he had a lot of money. And he told the whole world that when he died, he wanted to be buried with his riches. He wanted his casket to be laid out with every single dollar that he had earned. He wanted to make sure that everyone saw, that everyone was there. And so, of course, years later, the man dies. And his funeral is packed with onlookers, and everyone is coming to see this man's casket laid out with money. To people's amaze, they get to the viewing and they see the man looking sharp, laid out nicely, but still there was no money. As they began to close the casket, because the final viewing had now passed, a member of the crowd got up and yelled, "Where is his money?" He wanted to be buried with his money. He wanted his casket to be laid out with all of his riches, and you did not honor his request. His wife got up looking all nice and all kind, and she addressed the crowded church and said, "I honored my husband's wishes. If you take a look in the casket and you look in the pocket of his suit, there you will find a check written in his name. And if he can cash it where he is going, he can have it all." The point of the story that I just illustrated was to get us to understand that we live in a world that is oppressed and worried about worldly possessions that are only for a moment. They do not last forever. They do not go with us. They do not leave this earth with us. But yet we spend our time chasing after them. Our text this morning goes a little further to help us understand that the rewards of those who operate in a place of honesty and integrity have a reward from God that is far more than these worldly possessions. That there are those who spend their life trying to get riches, chasing every single dollar. They think they are receiving good wages, but in fact, their pursuits are in vain. The sad thing is they do not realize that they are too late and that they are living their lives for something that will disappear the moment they die. Proverbs 11 warns us that they are receiving deceitful wages, that they are placing their hope in things that cannot keep them and rather will rust in corruption, and thieves can break in and steal it. The B portion of the text points to us to understand that if they were wise, they would seek to sow and reap in a way that would bring them a real return for their labor and their efforts. So this morning, I want to encourage somebody. I want to speak to the person that seems that, God, I don't understand why it feels like the evil are always prospering. Why is it that those who don't seem to live righteously seem to keep having a good time? Well, I want to encourage you righteous livers to understand that God says through Proverbs 11 and 18 that the evil man might be rich for this moment. But if you are wise, you will put your hope in your identity into things that are of God. That if the righteous living continues to live in a place of honesty and integrity, your reward will be like no other. That your reward from God will be something that no man, no woman, no boy or girl can ever take from you, because you have sowed in good ground of righteousness. I know it may appear that those that are operating outside of honesty, operating outside of integrity, operating outside of the will of God are advancing right in front of your face. But God sent me here to encourage someone today that says, hold on, your labor is not in vain. That though it might appear that the wicked are prospering, that God told the Apostle Paul in Galatians 6, 7 through 9, be not deceived, that God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth in flesh shall reap flesh corruption. But he that soweth in the Spirit shall reap Spirit life everlasting. And Galatians 9, number 6, verse 9 says, don't be weary in your well-doing, for your due season is yet to come. So I encourage you this morning, don't worry about what others might be doing. Don't focus on the wealth of the wicked, because our Bible says that it is laid up for the righteous. I encourage you to hold on, stay focused, knowing that one day, sooner or later, you shall reap a godly reward. Thank you for tuning in to Compassion's morning meditation. We are here every day at 7 a.m. Be blessed.